starring Alexander Skarsgård, Anna Anya Taylor Joy,
Great up and comer.
and yeah, she knocks every role she has like out the park. But the main star of it really is like the director, Robert Eggers. It's his third movie. It's like his third outing, and I don't know. Have you seen The Witch?
No.
No, or The Lighthouse?
Yes.
You saw Lighthouse? Oh man, we got to talk about that movie. Like that was a trip. But yeah. So I was excited for this one because it's his third movie. I love the other two movies. And he has a really distinct style to like how he tells stories and everything. Off the break, yeah, this movie. It was, as far as Robert Edgar goes, it was like the story was kind of okay, but the visuals was like on point and all that. But what you think of it? How'd you feel?
I loved it. There was I I was I found as I was watching it, I was like, okay, we're like deep in the culture, whatever culture this is. I'm not even sure how accurate or inaccurate it is, but like clearly he's putting a lot of stake in just their rituals and their way of life and all of that. Like it was a very like it was a very raw movie. Like I was watching it, I was like, this is like a lot of masculine just outward energy. They're always yelling and they're always like just just rough. Like it was just rough from start to finish. And I was sitting there like, this is chaotic, right? This and again, I don't know how accurate or inaccurate that is to the actual culture of the time, but like it wasn't like how like Black Panther did it or how Star Wars does it. They didn't kind of hold your hand and walk you through their processes. They just kind of dropped you in the middle of their culture, like when they were barking like dogs and they met with the guy and he said, are you man or beast or something like that.
Yeah,
And they're just kind of like, and you just have to kind of assess what these practices are and what they're for. Like when they were doing the sports game, you kind of have to figure out what the rules are, what
yeah,
the object is.
right, yeah,
And I give points for him being bold enough to go, all right, look, this is the world, this is how they operate. Either you get it or you don't. Um, and not really dedicating too much time to really explain that, just more so just telling the story. And yeah, like that was the most intriguing part to me. It's kind of a double-edged sword though, because it had me confused at times where I was like, because sometimes he'll cut away to do something like really symbolic. And
yeah,
maybe after watching it more than once, I'll understand it. But like when he was doing that, when they would cut
sure,
to a dream sequence or some shit like that, I'd be
yeah.
like, I'm not entirely sure what's going on right now, but it feels awesome and it looks awesome.
That's his bread and butter, though. Like Robert Eggers, he does that in all his movies. Like all his movies are like that. That's why, like especially with the Lighthouse, that movie's confusing. So I still don't 100% know exactly what was happening, like all the way through in that movie. But he loves going off on these like these kind of like tangents in within the movie where it goes into like this kind of speculative realm, or with like witchcraft or like the sorcery and all that. Know what I'm saying? So I expected that, and I was kind of looking forward to that too. Like them scenes where he just cut in. I guess it was a Valkyrie that was like riding up to Valhalla. You know when what's the guy's name? Alexander Skarsgård's character.
I'd be honest with you, I didn't remember
Yeah,
any of their names.
it starts with an A. I know it starts with an A, but like when he was captured that time, and like in the barn, and they showed that I guess it was like a Valkyrie like riding, like showing his escape.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. At the end.
yeah, Willem Dafoe is one of my favorite actors. A, because he just looks weird, and then like B he's like an excellent actor, and he really kind of like leans into like those really trippy, them really like weird ass roles he do. Like that whole like you mentioned it, the ritual they were doing in the beginning with
Mhm.
Ethan Hawke and his son were like barking like a dog and all that other like crazy shit, which I really like. I knew stuff like that was going to be in that just because it's one of his movies. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's shot really well. You know, the scenery and all that like is really good. Which again, I expected nothing less from him. What you think about it though?
I mean, I liked it. It I don't want to use the trigger phrase, but it subverted my expectations at a certain point. Like the trailer sold you on a very straightforward story. The kid's father gets murdered. His mother gets captured. He wants to get. I mean, he says the chant over and over in the trailer and in the movie. I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I will kill you, Fjolnir. And you
Yeah.
just kind of buy into the fact that those are the objectives. I want to find the guy to kill my dad. I want to rescue my mother, and I want to settle the score. But even in such a simple premise, and even in a premise that we've seen 1,001 times before, he found a way to give a somewhat unique spin on it. Like I don't want to say, what happens because it's actually one of those movies where I think like not knowing what exactly is going on would service the experience to kind of. So I don't want to speak on what
I don't
ultimately happens.
I don't know. You kind of know what's going to happen. Like it's a revenge tale. Like it's really upfront about. They let you know in the trailer it's a revenge tale, right? So you kind
Yeah,
of
but there's a
know
certain
what's
point
going to
during
happen.
that confrontation, you know what I mean, where he finds out what's really going on. Where like I mean, I didn't anticipate the impetus being what it was. You know what I mean? Like the reason it happened was was way
Well,
different.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
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 and that's what I mean. Like I don't
yeah.
want to go into that because you know, and it just like it was. Have you played The Last of Us, the second one?
I haven't played the second one. Nah.
Well, the end was somewhat like that, and I was like in The Last of Us 2, you get to a certain point where you almost get a happy ending. And then
Right.
they just can't let go of something that has happened. So they go back to try to, get what they missed out on the first time. And so it was very reminiscent of that. I remember he was on the boat with her and something just, I was like, this isn't where the movie ends. They're not about to sail off into their happy ending. And it's a great message about um how like hatred really can destroy your life. Because like people have enemies and they think their cause of wanting to get even and whatnot is just. And whether or not it's just or not, it is important to understand that dedicating your life to such negativity will kind of fuck you up. And she even says like, look, you can love your kin or you can hate your enemies. And then he says, I can do both. And the movie is basically just an entire thesis of like, no, you can't do both, and here's why. So I appreciated that.
Well, my thing, how it different from Last of Us Two to me was like God, I really should look up his name first off, so like tell people like who we talking about. But he kind of had a point where like from what he did up until that point, like he killed the man's son and all that, you know, and so like if he goes off and like tries to raise a family, he's gonna find him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna hunt him down and find out where he is. So like to me, it kind of came off as like a sacrifice or whatever. Like, man, I can try to go off and like lead a happy life and like raise a family, and having that like looming over me, like, yeah, that nigga coming. Like, I know that, I know that nigga coming. At some point, I gotta get ready for homie, or I can just go and like ensure my kids, have like a kind of better life, even though I'm not there, I'm not in it. You know what I'm saying? And like just take him out, just eliminate that off break, and just kind of like take care of my family that way. So yeah, I didn't get that from Last of Us Two though. I didn't get nothing in that game, honestly, but that's a whole nother topic for me. Um,
I love that game.
you do? Nah, just give me
Yeah,
the first one. The first one all day. Last of Us Two was just like I don't know, bro. It didn't need to happen, kind of, but that's
I
neither here
agree.
nor.
I don't really like comparing the two. I just I like stories. that just tell the that keep it a buck with you when it like revenge just isn't really worth what you got to do to get it. It just there's nothing good comes of just surrounding your life with hatred, and it like you think it feels good, you think you're gonna get what you want, and maybe you do get the guy or the girl or whoever wronged you, maybe you do get, but like even with this main character, like in a movie like John Wick, you know what I mean, like John Wick's dog gets killed, and a story like John Wick is a very kind of flowery version of revenge because everybody that he hurts kind of deserves it. You know, they're all involved in some shady shit. He doesn't really do anything morally reprehensible, at least in that first movie when he's looking for the guy. But then you look at this movie, this guy, he raids a village at a certain point, burns people alive,
Yeah,
kills children, like in pursuit of this other guy. And you're like, you are you're a monster, bro. Like you're doing evil things in pursuit of what you believe to be a just cause. And I can't look at him as a hero, and I don't think the movie's trying to have you look at him as a hero. I think the movie's trying to show you how poisonous living with that kind of hatred is. So it
yeah,
just, you know, from beginning to end, it's just a dark story, and I just enjoy it.
yeah. I mean, it kind of it's like watching this. It really brought Uthred, son of Uthred, to mind to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was even though I like this one was way gorier and bloodier than the Last Kingdom, right? But I kind of like the story of the Last Kingdom a little bit better. You know, it was more, and this is a movie. I mean, it's comparing a movie to a TV series, so I mean, it's don't really correlate. But the Last Kingdom seemed more grander, you know, and like had a bit more scope. But I'm happy I watched that one, The Last Kingdom, before getting into this movie because I don't know. It was like I felt more familiar with it, like watching the Northman now. You know what I'm saying? Than it would have
Yeah,
been like had I not. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was the story. The story wasn't the selling aspect of me. This is a revenge story. I knew what was gonna happen basically. You know, like yeah, niggas was gonna lose their heads in this joint. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I want to get in the spoiler. I kind of want to get in the spoilery with this too. Like with his mom and all that. Uh, that was
all right, all right, all right, all right. Go ahead, go
we could
for it.
do a spoiler warning. We could do a spoiler warning. I don't know what else to get out the way. I mean, it's shot well. It's well acted. You know everybody brings it in this. Alexander Skarsgård, who to me is more like a he's like the male or the female the woman version of like Brad Pitt to me. You know, like he's just wait that don't make sense. Wait, yeah, hold on, that don't make sense. Cause Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt. Well, he's like a newer Brad Pitt. No, because Brad Pitt can act his ass off. But I've never seen anything he's in that he was like, really good in, or like, they're like,
It?
oh damn, yeah, not really. Like he's been okay and everything. Like, and that's going back to like True Blood. It's just like, okay, he's okay. He's more like eye candy, kind of, for the ladies, basically. But to me, in this one. Yeah, he actually bought it. Like I bought him in this. You know what I'm saying? And plus this is his heritage, really. So you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course this fits with him. Um yeah, well I don't know what you think, like the acting in this. What you think about that?
Oh well, in movies like this, you always get like good performances. You get that high octane kind of like just primordial raw energy, and it
Yeah,
I
that
think it takes like you got to really be committed to just for 2 hours straight just roaring and yelling
yeah.
and just acting like a beast and
That
whatever. And
testosterone, baby.
yeah,
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 yeah, we
pure adrenaline. And it just seems it's one of those things that seems so simple. I need you to yell for 2 hours. It almost seems like the instruction is so simple that it makes it hard. So the fact that they could all do it, the fact that they could all stay in that savage state of mind for the entire movie, and I bought it the whole time. I think they killed it. Like you already mentioned Anya Taylor Joy. I've loved her since I saw the Queen's Gambit. So now every time I see her in something, it just makes me that more excited. she's a force to be reckoned with. Alexander was great in this movie. Willem Dafoe
Yeah,
was
love him.
Willem Dafoe, but also
Yeah.
somehow not Willem Dafoe. Like it took me a minute to realize it was him because his
Oh,
voice
did
is very distinctual. So like he never really gets to hide himself. But
it?
he wasn't being Dafoe. He was being like he didn't play Green Goblin again. He felt different.
Oh well, yeah. See, that was never his like bar to me, like the Green Goblin. What's a good movie of him just being The Lighthouse? Probably like more like The Lighthouse, more subdued, more he wasn't a 10 in that one, but he was still creepy and like just odd and off. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's like a classic Willem Dafoe role for me. Because like Spider Man, he was like a 10. He was just animated and like it's a comic book movie, so you know what I'm saying. But yeah, Anya Taylor Joy, like what's the movie? God, I'm blanking on the name. Where the guy with the multiple personalities.
Split.
Yeah, yeah, Split. I think that probably was the first time I seen her. If not the first time I was like, damn, she's really good in this. Like damn, she's actually acting her ass off.
She was in it.
Yeah, yeah. She was the girl. She was the girl that was like, "Prepare yourself," or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause there was like three girls that he captured, and she was the one that was like acting like the coolest, or the one like she'd been here before. You know what I'm saying? And she was the last girl in the movie. Basically, she the one that like survived. Cause
Really?
she had like trauma in her past or whatever and whatnot. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Watch it again. She was like the main girl in that.
Word. Yeah, I'm sure I would recognize her now. I only
Yeah.
saw the movie once.
Ah, okay. It's probably been
No,
a minute, right?
yeah. In fact, the only movie in the Unbreakaverse, for lack of a better term, what I've seen more than once is Unbreakable.
Unbreakaverse. Hey, we got trademarked that. The
Yeah,
Unbreakaverse.
I love Unbreakable. Unbreakable is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Split was
It's up there.
okay. I really enjoyed Glass. I just haven't watched it the second time yet. So
Yeah, I saw that when it came out. I haven't seen that since. I don't don't feel the need to see that again, actually. But yeah, who else was in there? Ethan Hawke, one of my favorites. He brings it everywhere he goes, pretty much. And his so going into, I guess we can go into spoilers, right? Well, let's give it a
yeah,
score first. Like I'm giving this a 4. I can give it a 4.
are we ever gonna agree?
Oh, it's a 5.
Oh yeah,
Finally,
oh yeah.
finally.
This
My
is
man,
this, huh?
you finally giving something a 5. Like
Yeah,
this.
man. Yeah,
God, so this is your standard. This finally we reach your standard and something, huh?
yeah. If we do it if we do a top 10 movies of the year, this is gonna be on it.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. This is one of the best I've seen like this year, and it's one of I mean it's my least favorite Robert Eggers movie, but it's one of like the best movies that came out this year. So yeah,
Words.
I
Spoiler for a future conversation if we ever had it. If we had reviewed Top Gun, that would have gotten a 5 too, because I loved that movie.
you saw that too.
Oh yeah,
Okay, all right, okay. I can't believe Top Gun out of all these nobody shuts up about that movie. Everybody says it's excellent, and I'm like Top Gun, my guy, Top
yo,
Gun.
they was doing their thing. They was doing their thing with that one.
I gotta see that. I gotta see what this is about. I gotta see this now. So, oh, if I see it, we might review that then. You know,
Yeah,
but
let's go for it.
I
I'll have to see it
bet
again, but I that's no issue for me. I'd gladly go see it again.
that's wild. People are talking about Top Gun. I thought this would be like just some dumb movie, or not dumb, but just something come and go. No, people talking about like it's like the best movie of the year and whatnot. I'm like, wait, Top Gun
They
for
left
real?
it all on the table, bro. That you would have thought that these niggas would never be able to be in another movie. They were like, if this is our last shot, we're gonna bring this shit.
That is wild. All right, cool. So 9 out of 10. Excellent movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you've seen it, see it again. It's 9 out of 10. It's worth it.